All right, everyone, this is Joseph Gervais. Today I'm going to be doing a shoulder exercise or shoulder workout routine. And I'm going to do 5 different exercises. I'm going to do them all on this cable machine here. So it's going to be a super simple yet effective shoulder routine. The first one I'm going to do is kind of a side, rear, front delt exercise. I call them cable conductors. And I'll show you how to do them for the warm up. So you kind of stick your chest forward, put your hips back, and you got a crook in your arms, and you want to have tension in the rear delt. And from here, you drive the rear delts back, and you're gonna stand up and rotate your arms up like this. When you get to the top, you kind of flex the delts back and lock them into place. And then it's more front delt if you wanted to press, and I'm not gonna do that today though, but you can if you want more front delt. I'll probably do 1 or 2 more warm-up sets before my first working set. All right, so I'm warmed up. I'm gonna do Dorian styles today, or failure sets. So I'm gonna do 2 sets for each exercise. And if I get 8 reps or under, I'll probably drop the weight, or 8 reps or more, I'll just keep the weight. See how many reps I get and go from there. All right, that was a pretty hard set today, and I got a bruised tendon in my elbow, so I won't do the same weight again. I'll probably just drop it here quick. And on the stack, you really don't need a lot of weight on this movement. Like for that one, I'm doing 12 or 30, so I don't know if that's in pounds exactly, but it's like a third of the stack. And then when you're doing the failure sets, you want to try to get as close to failure for that muscle that you're training as possible with good form. And that's why at the end I do a couple partial reps just to make sure the muscle's burnt out, but I'm not throwing my body too much with bad form either. Right, for the second exercise, we're going to be doing a rear delt movement. So it's kind of like face pulls, but it's from the bottom. So crisscross them, and then stick your hips back, chest up, and then just drive the elbows back and get a good squeeze in the rear delt. So it's not about range of motion, because then you'll get into the trap. So it's all about just squeezing the rear delt and driving those elbows back, like elbowing someone in the face behind you. So if you see on the side when I'm doing them, there's not a big range of motion, but the rear delt kind of bunches up. This one I'll just probably take a minute or so break and then do my set because I'm already warmed up. All right, so here's gonna be the first set of this rear delt. You can see when I'm doing the movement, there's not a lot of shoulder blade, flex or movement going on. It's mainly just shoulders. Because if you're doing this, then you're doing back, which isn't really going to help your rear delts grow. So try to just limit that range of motion and really just focus on that rear delt contraction right there. All right, take a break and I'll do third one. All right, for the third exercise, going to be doing side lateral raises from in front. And that's one thing I'll note too, for the first 2 movements that I did, if you only have a single arm cable machine, you can do those first 2 movements with a single arm and do them separately. So like for example, the first movement, you would just come to the side here and go like this, and then you would just step to the side of the cable and go like that. But I'll be doing everything two-handed just because I can. But if you can't and you only have a single arm cable machine, that works fine too. So for these, I'll just be warming up like this. And then for these, just don't go straight arm, because then right here, you're putting all the stress, if you're doing stiff arm, through your joint, your elbow joint. So you don't have a crook in it, lead with the elbow joint, and kind of just drag your arm up. All right, for the third exercise now, we're gonna be doing the side lateral raises. Like I said, I'm already warmed up. So I'll go do the first set here. When you're trying to go to failure, make sure you're pushing to as close to failure as you can, but don't do it with bad form. So I'm not jerking, I'm just trying to squeeze through the range of motion instead of fling through the range of motion. All right, there's the third exercise done. Take a little break, and then we'll get to the fourth exercise. All right, for the fourth exercise, we're gonna do cable upright rows. I like doing these with the Smith machine normally, on the barbell Smith, or they work really good with dumbbells, but for the purposes of this video, doing everything out of cable machine. And again, these could be done with one arm too. They get a little more core work. You get a little more core work done if you're doing one-handed, so you'd be doing them like this versus the two-handed that we're gonna be doing. And for these two, you're not getting as much range of motion as you possibly can, where you're trying to raise your arms up. You kind of think about it as dragging the weight up and bunching up the shoulder, and where that shoulder gets a nice contraction. Because then past here, I wouldn't be using my delt like I'd want to be. I'd be using other muscle groups. So just really try to tuck your shoulders up. So while we're warmed up for this first set, so I've been doing mainly a drop set for each of these two, for my two sets in each exercise, my main set and then my second set, I've been dropping. And that's usually how I do them, especially if I'm trying to get done quickly and get a quick workout in. It's just a lot more time efficient. Probably not as good for strength building, so on days that you have more time and you're feeling good and your joints are feeling great, then you can take a little bit longer break, like a 30-second break, and maybe keep that weight. If you did a failure set, and you got 8 reps, and you could keep it and go for another set with that weight. All right, for the last exercise, you're gonna do side lateral raises again, but with the cable behind your back to get a little bit more emphasis on side rear delt instead of side front delt. Just kind of perform this way, get the cable, 6 or so inches behind you. And again, kind of have a crook in your arm, and pretty similar to the ones in front. Take a little breather and then get ready for my first set. So I'm ready for the first set, not this one. I'm gonna do probably a 3 or 4 set drop set. So I'll do main set on each arm, drop, drop, drop a couple times. gonna call it good with the 3 sets on that one. But there's the 5 exercise simple shoulder routine on a cable machine that took less than 30 minutes to do. So super simple and effective for size, strength, endurance. So size, strength, and endurance, the variation would be reps that you perform, strength, 8 to 6 reps, size 6 to 12 reps, and then endurance 12 to 15 reps per set. And obviously dietary limitations for size and endurance and all the stuff being said. But it's good for bodybuilders, powerlifters, or just general weightlifters. Give it a try. If you have any questions, comments, give me a like, share, and subscribe, and God bless.